Hey vibes, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Brooklyn and this is Vibe with Brooklyn. And in today's video, we are talking about dating with purpose. Okay, so if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share it with any and everyone you know, and let's get it popping. Okay, so I actually had a couple of you come to me with this topic and I was like, oh duh, why haven't I talked about this, right? This is literally a topic that the world needs to hear. So here's my thoughts on dating with purpose or with intent or whatever you want to call it. I feel like, listen, okay, number one, I was once in the dating world, okay? I am no longer, but I once was. And when I was in the dating world, it was so incredibly frustrating and so incredibly hard during the time that I was in it. So I just want to give advice on this topic, as I see a lot of different things just being on the outside, you know, of it. And now not being in the dating world, I kind of have a different viewpoint on things. So dating with purpose, what is that exactly, right? So dating with purpose is just as it sounds, being purposeful with why you are dating a person. Now, it gets frustrating and hard when you might find someone who wants to date around, but they don't have the same intent or purpose as you do. So this is why I feel like, for one, it's best to get it out in the open, be upfront with what you want and what you're doing with that person, so that there's no room for just confusion or entanglements. We don't want those, okay? So be upfront, be intentional, be real from the jump, and I feel like that saves just the confusion later on. So what I mean by that is, I don't mean that like once you meet the person, you know, if you're using a dating app, whatever you're using, don't say, hi, my name is Brooklyn, I'm looking for a husband. Like, yes, say that, but find ways to present that at the appropriate time, in my opinion. Some of y'all are big, bold, and blunt with it, and I love that. But I think so that you don't scare people away, because before knowing what their intentions are, like, find the right time to do that. So I see a lot of people, when it comes to dating, like, they're skipping over that process. They're skipping over the being real phase, and they're just going into this mindset of fantasy, right? I can talk for myself, as I normally do. You guys know me. We're a vibe here. We're real here. We keep it straight up, real, and that's it. So to be real with you guys, I was one of those people, right? I would go out, meet people, date them, and instantly have this like fantasy built up in my mind, like, oh my god, this is my husband, he's the one for me, like, we're gonna get married and have a house and blah 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 blah. Like, girl, hold the phone, pause, halt it, you're moving way too quick. That's not what this is, right? But I would build that fantasy up in my mind because of just, you know, the way I would see the other person kind of moving, right? Like, oh, they want to take me out and do this, that, and a third. But that doesn't necessarily mean they're your husband or that they want to be your husband. So date with purpose, meaning literally have a sit down talk with what you kind of are expecting out of the situation from the jump, okay? I didn't do that. There were many times when I didn't do that, and I only ended up being let down in the end. And also, I wasted a lot of time. I wasted their time, they wasted my time. Like, it just was a waste of time. If I could go back and do it all over, girl, I wouldn't. But for the sake of this video, if I could, I would literally have those sit down talks with the person first and be upfront. I know that on dating sites there is like the whole bio and all those things that kind of like can tell you a little bit about the person, but I would still have that in-person conversation, because they might see you and be like, oh wow, let me see what she's about. And just because they're taking you out doesn't mean that, like, oh, they read into your whole life story and journey, and they know that you're the one for them. No, they're testing the waters too. Like, dating is exactly what it is. It's collecting data on a person. That's just what it is. So this is your collecting stage. Like, get as much on a person as you possibly can. Like, get to really know them. You know, again, I always go back to being friends with the person first before even really entering into that dating phase. I would recommend building a friendship with people to really see their true intent. And just because people are doing little things for you, like, I need to talk about this because it literally grinds my gears when I hear people say, like, oh, he did this for me, oh, he took me here, oh, he took me there, oh, he introduced me to this person, that person. Like, I'm sorry, but that doesn't mean a whole lot. Like, he could be doing the same things to the next person that he's over here dating. Like, you just don't know what people are doing. So, you know, I've been there, literally building a fantasy in my head. Like, oh my God, he introduced me to his whole family. He got me this, he got me that. Like, all of these things that, like, didn't really matter because at the end of the day, we never had a real sit down conversation to discuss what was going on or what we were or how he was feeling or how I was feeling or whatever the case may be. So with that being said, make sure you are vetting the proper information. Do not wear your heart completely on your sleeve. Literally guard your heart in the beginning, because I feel like a lot of us ladies especially, we literally will be so quick to just put our heart on the table and just lay it all out for the other person and then get our hearts ripped out in the end. Again, that's that fantasy building. So be smart, be mindful, be calculated in how you're dating someone. Like, if you're someone who's just out here trying to have a good time, trying to have fun, let the other person know that. Like, don't hold them back if the guy, girl, whatever, if they're in here saying or telling you that, oh, they want a wife, they want a husband, but you're over here like giving into that, knowing that they want a wife and husband, and you know that you're not wanting to be their wife or husband, or that you're not even ready for that. Now, I do believe that in certain situations, things can take off and things can grow, but I don't think it's fair to hold that back and hold that from that person without discussing it first. And I say that from, you know, I am older, I'm not young. I want to say that a lot of my viewers on here were probably all around the same age group. So if I'm right, a lot of us are looking to take the next step, get to the next place, and really build and grow with someone. So I'm coming from a place of like, not from a 21-year-old's mindset. I wouldn't be making this video if so. I just can't stress enough how like communication is just the number one thing. And that goes for in a friendship, that goes for when that friendship turns into a relationship, that goes for just whatever it is. If you're platonic, if you're this, we're old enough and grown enough to be upfront and real with a person. Like, I hate seeing so many people, you know, be in these entanglements. Like, we don't have to be in these entanglements and then come out like, oh my God, I was in an entanglement I didn't even know about. Like, no, you know, I understand that the wool can be pulled over your eyes in certain cases, but if a guy or a girl is telling you that they're just trying to have a good time and you're building up these fantasies in your mind, and when it doesn't happen, you're still upset at them, like, that's a you problem. Like, they sat there and told you what they expected from it, and you sat there and thought differently. That's not their fault, and you can't blame them for that. So I need us to get out of these like delusional mindsets. Like, we need to be real about who and what we are and the purpose of why we're doing certain things. You know, for me, it wasn't until I like was so beyond fed up, and I know that there are a lot of people who are at this place in life because we see it on Twitter, we see it on IG, we see the memes, we see all these things. The dating pool has pee in it, just like all types of stuff, right? And I don't not agree, but I do think there are still good people out there in the world. But like, girl or boy, whatever, literally focus on yourself, right? Like, don't go searching for it, because I feel like searching for it is when you get it just lets you down in the end, when you're just like, maybe I can find it over here in this person. Or if somebody gives you or shows you a little bit of what you've been missing in someone else for like the first week or two that you've been talking to them. Don't sit there and think that like this is your husband or your wife. Like, no, it takes time. You really need to grow with the person. You really need to get to know them, and I really believe in that. Like, I would hate to see, anybody that I know get into a marriage with somebody that they really don't know, to come to find out that like, oh dang, this really wasn't the person for me. But well, you married them without getting to know them. That doesn't seem, I mean, you wouldn't do that to, in a friendship. It's like, we get to know people and then we decide like, oh, you're cool, I want to be your friend. Oh, you're really cool, I want you to be my best friend. Like, we pull things from the characteristics of people, and not always because we think that this is how this person is going to be. No, like, a lot of the times your friends, so like, okay, I can rock with this person, or how far you can go with your friends. But it's just so interesting that when it comes to the dating world, we switch our mindsets, and like I said, it's this fantasy game world that we go into, and we literally think that those rules or ways or whatever it is, it just doesn't apply. So to wrap this all up, make friends with people. Literally be their friend first. Really get to know them. How are they as a friend? Because like, if they're a bad friend, why do you think they're going to be a better boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife? Like, let's really get down to it, you can really tell a person while in the friend stage. And eventually, like, if it grows into something else, cool, amazing. I do believe that you can start off one way thinking that it's not this, that, and the third, and then it can grow into that. But it has to grow into it collectively. One person can't be over here wanting it to grow while the other person doesn't. It just doesn't work like that. So again, let's get out of these delusional mindsets and be real about what we're doing. Let's be real with each other. You over here talking to Sarah, Jill, and Jackie, it doesn't matter. Like, let the person know, hey, I'm dating other people, just to let you know. It is more commendable that way than for me to sit here and think that, like, you're giving your all to me. Like, let's cut the lies, cut all of it, and be real. So that is, for me, that is like some of the greatest advice I could probably give to you guys. And that's some advice I would have given my younger self, going through it. Because, man, I have married many a men in my fantasy play mind in the dating world, that in this world that I've like made up, that just was never real. And then I get let down. But really, I've let myself down. Nobody really let me down, right? I've even had moments where it's like I might have been with someone and they told me at the end of it like, oh, well, I didn't know you felt that way, or we never discussed that, kind of just was going with the flow of what you were going with. And at the time, I would get upset about it because I'm like, hello, I'm sitting here, like, we're hanging out all the time. What do you think this is? But really, I couldn't get mad. Like, the communication factor should have been there on my part, should have been there on his part. And yeah, I feel like women, especially women who are ready to settle down, be married, find their person, whatever, we're quick to see things in a different way. We're quick to like, date with the intent of like, if you're someone who wants to get married, you need to be dating people who are like-minded in that same headspace. Again, as I said before, other things can grow with other people, but make those people your friend. Don't sit there and be like, this is my husband over here, but like, nothing has really come from it. Be his friend first, and if something comes out of that, amazing, great, love that for you. That's what we want at the end of the day. Some things are the man, I understand that as well, but I talk a lot for my ladies here because I'm one and I have many experiences as a woman. So yeah, like, date with purpose, date with intent. Focus on yourself in the meantime. Let it come to you, because it will come to you when you least expect it, when you aren't thinking about it, when you over there grinding and in your bag and living your best life and on that beach, body snatched, hair snatched down, makeup snatched down, whatever it is, like, you gonna be in your most peaceful state of mind, and then bam, like, it's gonna come crashing down, interrupting you, and you're not even gonna realize it. So that's, that's definitely been my story, where it's like, I didn't you know, I was at the wits end when it came to dating. I was so in my bag and thinking about myself and very selfish and all these things, but I was starting to turn very cold-hearted in that. So that's another topic I want to get into, just being cold-hearted and hating, you know, starting to hate men, male bashing and all of this stuff. And when are we taking the male bashing just way too far? And anyway, so yes, I hope you guys learned a little bit from this video. I didn't mean to like get all up in your space, girl or boy, but you know, sometimes we need to be real with each other. Like, I hope that you guys would be real with me, and I'm gonna be real with you guys. That's what this is. So if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, leave me a message down below, leave your friends a message down below, share this video, and yeah, we're on the road to 200 subscribers, and I'm so thankful. I'm so happy to be here. I love it here. I took a couple of days off, so this video is a little bit behind, but we are here nonetheless, and I will catch you guys in my next vibe video. Bye.